series, Wingfeather.
Thank you. Of
Well, season three, of course.
course, yeah.
Now,
We're actually in the middle of recording season four at the moment as well. So it
oh,
seems to be an ongoing thing in my life. Yeah.
you know what? This is surprisingly a fun series to watch. I mean, I binged through through three seasons, and it is such a delight that these stories are actually told.
Yeah, it is very much so. And it's wonderful. What I think the guys have been brilliant at is, it started out as quite a straightforward show, but they are really, as I say, we're in the middle of season four. They're really, as far as I'm concerned, delving into Podo's background, which is becoming really interesting. And I love it every time I get a script through.
Now, three seasons is quite a bit, especially the fact that, on how this is all going to play out and it's all going to be planned for several more seasons. What do you
Yeah.
suppose is the secret to success for the Wingfeather Saga?
Well, I think personally it has a unique mixture of being about a family, but set in a world of fantasy. And I think that's sort of intriguing because it invites people in and says, what would it be like to, be a family in a world like this? So I just think it's very imaginative. The books, of course, were amazing, and it was obvious they should be made into a show like this. I love it, absolutely love it.
For you as an actor, because that there are books like this actually available, do you pick up the script first, or do you actually read through the
The,
books
the
first?
script, the script. In fact, I've been saying to people tonight that I won't read the books till I've finished the show. Because I don't want to be trying to put stuff from the books in. I get the script and I go, right, I'm going to do the script as well as I can. So definitely the script is number one important in everything I do.
So when you do actually pick up the book, and the difference between reading the script and the book, does your imagination even match, or is just runs wild in this
Well,
case?
they're two different things. That the written page and the screen are two different things. I mean, watch Gone with the Wind and then read Margaret Mitchell's book. They're two different things, and they're two different areas. And I have really nothing to do with the book story, although I'm saving that. I'm looking forward to it when we finish, although I don't want it to finish. But I've really got to take everything from the script because it's visual. There are, in books, there are huge periods that you can't have on screen because they're contemplative. So I really stick with scripts, and I did a show called Tone Washington Spies um, for 4 years in the States, and I didn't read those books until I'd finished the show either. So that's very important to take the material you have and work with it.
So in the midst of season four, right now that you're actually voicing, that basically means you still haven't read book three. You just completed book two.
It all becomes a complete surprise to me, and I love it.
I love your approach to this. Now let's talk about Poto here. I mean, the one thing about fascination about Poto is, unlike the rest of the family, he is such an adventurer, and such an, I want to say, an action hero in his own sense. What do you love about this character so much about voicing the past three seasons?
Well, what's been very interesting is that I didn't really know much about him at the beginning, but what's great about season three, and it's going to be even better about season four, is we start to learn about Poto's past and some things that the family don't know about. And I think any story which can continue to surprise however long it goes on, is a very good story. So I'm really enjoying when I get the scripts through going, oh my God, he did that? That's what he used to do? That's why he's afraid of this? That's why he defends his family? So it's going to be really interesting. And I just hope everyone loves season 3 so that they watch season 4, because season 4 is going to be fantastic.
I love the fact that you're keeping the spoilers on the down low. I mean, a little
No
spoiler.
spoilers.
I know. I was going to say little spoiler from me is that this is going to explain why he's such a pirate such a good pirate on land, or what we like to call land pirate in this case.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll leave that for the audience to find out.
Now, speaking of pirate, the thing is, you're very well known of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise.
Mhm.
For doing that so many years. I'm just curious, is I figured you would be tired of playing pirates in this case. What actually drew you back that you wanted to voice, a pirate like Poto in this case?
Well, because Mr. Gibbs is a sort of a man on his own. He supports Jack Sparrow. But when they came to me with this, I mean, I was a little bit reticent saying another pirate. But when I saw his relationship to his family, then I thought that's really interesting and it's different enough for me not to get trapped into doing the same thing. Um, so I very much enjoyed the fact that it was an older pirate who is looking after his grandkids. Just seemed to be a beautiful move forward to me.
In voicing this character, because I want to say you play pirates so well. Did you have to go through some kind of pirate school all the way back then to get into these characters?
Well, they tried to put me through a pirate school, but I said to them as they were teaching us sword fighting and guns and cannon, I said, I don't need to do this. And the woman said to me, why? And I said, well, because anytime anything difficult happens, I'm downstairs drunk. So it then happened that in the third film, um, I went up to the director and I said, there's a whole load of weird pirates over there, and there's 3 of us on the boat. What's going to happen? And he said, Gibbs has got to kick ass. So I felt this sudden need that I tried to remember what they taught me about sword fighting and cannon and guns, but it was great. But I'd been a fan of, I grew up in the 60s watching Tyrone Power and Errol Flynn on television doing those pirates, and I was always a pirate fan. So I sort of had a pirate lurking somewhere there that I just released.
And because you're voicing Poto in the Wingfeather Saga, must be such a relief that you could do action, but without the real physical action today in the voice booth.
Well, yeah, but you do the physical action, but you just do it vocally. And I look at what they give me little templates of what they're going to do, and I, I love it. I love the fact that you have to do everything through your voice and not through your physicality. Although when I'm recording Podo, I very rarely sit down.
Oh, so what do you love about this side of acting on the voice acting being I want to say it's almost in this case I want to say you're practically alone in the booth with possibly with the director on the other side of the wall.
No, alone in the booth, exactly. I just love it. It's all down to you. It's all down to your control. They give you a few, pictures or ideas, and then you do it all through your voice. And I love that. I love it.
When you say pictures, what kind of pictures do they actually have like a mock-up pictures or pictures from the book?
No, no, they will do the rough drawings they've done. They'll do a few little rough ideas of, so if I have to fly through the air and land on a deck, they'll give me an idea of how long it is, and you know, they do roughs before they do the full version, but certainly not from the book. Definitely from the cartoonist's initial work that they do before we record the voices. Yeah.
And because you work alone, it must be have you met the rest of the cast over the years eventually?
I eventually met them at the premiere of the first season in Nashville, and I'm so sorry I can't be there this year because it was lovely meeting them, the three kids and the lovely woman who plays my daughter. So it was great fun, great fun.
That is terrific, Kevin. And let me start wrapping things up with you for the Wingfeather Saga. I know it is such a beloved series, but what is something that you adore so much about being in the fantasy world, such as the Wingfeather Saga?
Well, I personally, you know, I've written a couple of books and they're sci-fi, and I like the genre. I like the genre of fantasy, sci-fi, horror, because it really gives you something to bite into. You know, I'm not really interested in sitting around doing films about, you know, people talking to each other. I really like the joy of genre, and that's why the Wingfeather Saga appealed to me, because it's a wonderful mixture of horror, fantasy, and family.
That does sound wonderful, and I had no idea that you actually wrote books.
Oh yeah, please buy Sons of Soul by Kevin McNally.
I will actually look forward to that. Kevin, thank you very much for speaking to us about the Wingfeather Saga season 3.
You're more than welcome, Gig, and nice to have met you.
Nice to meet you too. Thank you.